What up YouTube, Fox here, and today I'm going to be coming at you with another Banlist discussion video. Now last time I did this, it was about 31 minutes long. Too long, I think. Should have made a quicker video. So this time, I'm going to try and make it no longer than 20 minutes, so hopefully that gets done. So, starting off, we got Cliff Arts. I have Scout and Summoner's Art here. Now, seeing how Cliff Arts are relatively new, and they are still getting amazing support in the next set, I don't really think Scout is going to get hit, but there is always the possibility. This is really the heart of the engine. Well, not the engine, the heart of the deck. So, I really don't see them hitting this, but you never know. If they do, probably to 2, because if it's to 1, that just pretty much completely kills the deck. But I'm confident that they will not be touching Scout, and instead they will be touching Summoner's Art, which searches out Scout and the Scale 1 Pendulum that we'll be getting in the next set to go with Scout. So this will probably be the card that they will hit. They probably will not touch anything specifically Cliff Art. Too new of a deck. So really the only thing I see getting hit for that deck is Summoner's Art. Now, next up we have some stuff for Burning Abyss. Another relatively new deck. Also, just like Cliff Arts, I really don't think that they're going to hit anything actually in the archetype. If they do, maybe Dante to 2, not to 1, same reason as Scout. I mean, maybe you could hit Dante to 1 and it would still work out, but I don't know. I've never played the deck really, so I wouldn't know. I think if they would actually hit Dante, it'd be to 2, but again, just like I said for these guys, I don't think they're going to touch any Burning Abyss cards at all. If they do, maybe, I don't know, maybe Scarm, I think it is. Yeah, Scarm. Maybe him, but again, I think it's just like with the Cleats. I think it's going to be more of the non-archetype support, such as Tour Guide, maybe to 2. I don't think they'd put her back to 1. I don't know, maybe they would, but I think maybe to 2. And then there are 3 main traps here: Regeki Break, Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, and Karma Cut. Now, Karma Cut, I don't really know. I can't really think of why they use it, honestly. Again, never played them, so I don't really know the reason why they run Karma Cut. I know it's probably a good reason, I just don't know it. So, these are probably the most plausible 4 cards of the Burning Abyss deck that Konami might hit. Maybe not all of them, maybe just 1 or maybe 2. I mean, maybe Tour Guide to 2. I don't know, Phoenix Wing Wind Blast to 1. Regeki Break 2, maybe 1. Karma Cut, again, I don't know, so I don't even have a number to. I don't know. I'm just gonna say that they're not gonna hit it, because honestly, I don't know the reasoning behind Karma Cut. I know it's a good card. I just, I don't know. So yeah. And then also we have Mystical Space Typhoon up here. The reason is, well, pendulum, support pendulums. So I feel MST might possibly get hit to push pendulums. I've heard that people usually, I know people usually run at least 2 copies. I always run 3. But I feel to push pendulums, to really promote them, I think they might wind up hitting Mystical Space Typhoon. probably to 2. I highly, highly, highly doubt they would hit it to 1, so most likely 2. Um, Now, Dark Hole, we have Regeki. Regeki came back to 1 last ban list. So I know even before Regeki came back, people sort of started dropping Dark Hole from their deck, and the people that were running Dark Hole kind of replaced it with Regeki. I know some people run both. I do. The more destruction, the happier I become. So with Regeki back to 1, I think Dark Hole has the possibility to get banned now. Um, Not sure though. Like again, I've seen people who don't run it at all. I've seen people who do. It's just I've seen people who side deck it, but that's a very rare occasion. Um, and then we have our good old Patrick Hoban All-Star card here, Upstart Goblin. Now, I know this card used to be 1, and then it used to be at 2. I don't know if it was ever banned, but I know this card, it's real popular. A lot of people main deck 3 copies of this card. It basically makes your 40 card deck a 37 card deck. Because of the free draws. I mean, yes, you give your opponent 1,000 life points, but more than likely, that's not really gonna matter at all. So, Upstart Goblin might go back to 1 like it was years ago, or it might go to 2, or it might get hit to 1, or it might get hit to 2. I'm not too entirely sure because, I mean, you do give your opponent 1,000 life points, so. But again, a lot of the times that doesn't really matter because you're just going to knock that right out of them. And then the final 2 cards here are Light and Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Awesome cards against Shadal's, Teller Knights, Burning Abyss, basically anything light or dark, obviously. But those are just the big name ones that are going around right now. So, I personally hope they don't get hit. I don't think they're gonna get hit. I mean, they help keep the meta in check, I guess, or at least they help this current meta stay in check. I don't know. I know pretty much every deck out there, well, if you go to a tournament, then you're more than likely going to be running either main decked and or side decked 3 copies of each of these. I do. I main deck Triple Shadow while side decking my Light Imprisonings. And I run Evil Swarms. Yes, I know, very weird. But it works. Surprisingly enough, it does work. So if these get hit, probably to 2. But again, I don't really see these cards getting hit. I mean, if these cards get hit, then this meta might get a little bit out of whack. And I don't think a lot of people want to see that happen. Now, as far as possible returns, not as nearly as big of a list. I think this is like literally half of what the other list was. So, this will be relatively quick. First off, Thunder King Ryo. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you can have more than 1 copy in the OCG. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the OCG list since the last update, so I don't know. I think maybe they have 2 copies of him. I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but to counter Cleese and Shadalsby, well, really anything that searches, which is pretty much every deck relies on it searching. So Thunder King, I could probably see it coming to 2 to help balance things out. Stop that overwhelming hand of for appearing against you, to help your opponent not get an overwhelming hand, but yeah. Anyways, so I see this card possibly coming back to 2. Next up, Stratos. Now, I hate elemental heroes. I want to see them burn. I hate elemental heroes. The only reason why I have him on this list of possible returns is because of the elemental hero structure deck, as well as, in case you guys aren't aware of it yet, Premium Gold 2, which was announced, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or something. It has been officially announced, I think it was yesterday or earlier this week, it might have been Monday, that new a part of the 21 brand new cards that the TCG is getting is going to be hero support, and it's probably going to be Blaze Man, I think it is. So yeah, Stratos may come back to 1 to to help sell the structure deck, but with freaking Dark Mist, I think it is. I don't know, I could be totally wrong. Yes, I am totally wrong. Who cares? But they have a new Stratos basically coming out in the structure deck that I think is way better than Stratos because 1, he's a dark, and 2, his searching capabilities is freaking amazing. Because Stratos you have to summon. The other guy, you just have to send him to grave. From deck, field, hand, doesn't matter. You send him to grave and you get a search. Way better than Stratos. So I want to see Stratos stay banned, honestly. I don't want to see Stratos come back. Oh, I want to see heroes just die already. I hate heroes. But enough of that. Moving on now. Debris Dragon. This card, I know, I think it was like, I don't know, 2, 3, maybe even 4 months ago. I know sometime earlier this year, it was announced that Konami was thinking about giving Debris Dragon an errata. Now, there has been no news on whether or not they decided to not go through with it. Obviously, there hasn't been any information on if they chose to go through with it. But basically, the errata, if I remember correctly, it was going to allow Debris Dragon to synchro summon with level 4s. However, I think what they were going to do was that they were going to change this. Like right now, it's the other synchro material monster or monsters cannot be level 4. I think they were going to change it to that they must be level 4, or that they have to be level 4 or lower. I'm not sure, but I know it was one or the other. You could use a level 4 monster with the synchro summoning of Debris Dragon. But yeah, there's been no news on that, whether or not they declined it or are still thinking about it or whatnot. So, I know we got Glow Up Bulb back last Banlist, which is something that I said should come back to 1. In fact, 4 things I got correct. It was Glow Up Bulb back to 1, Gores to 2, Soul Charge to 1, and Magician of Faith to 3. So, yay me. But, I don't know. With Glow Up Bulb back to 1, I think this card will probably stay at 1. I don't think this card will come back to 2. Maybe when we get the Synchron structure deck around next summer, I think it is. But I feel for now, and for the next 1 or 2, maybe even 3 Banlists, Debris Dragon is going to stay at 1. But you never know. It could come back to 2. It seems like they're Because they're going to be pushing synchro, and I know there's going to be new Stardust support in the gold in the premium gold too. So don't know. This card might come back to 2, but honestly, I think it's going to stay at 1 for quite a few more ban lists. Now, next up is Dragon Ravine, which got banned. Not it's a Dragoonity card. It's the field spell for Dragoonities, and it got banned not because of Dragoonities, but because of Dragon Rulers. Now all the baby ones are banned. All the big ones are at 1. You got Gold Sark at 1. You got Return from the Different Dimension banned. You got Super Rejuvenation banned. I mean, I think, and then their draw card, the Sword of 7 Stars, that's limited. I believe. Yes, it is limited. So I think Dragon Ravine, because I know Dragoonities are getting new support, though I don't know, I think it might be OCG exclusive support. I don't know, I could be wrong. I probably am. But it's basically a quick play spell card is what the support is, and it's basically a miniature Dragon Ravine in a way. And it's kind of like a miniature version of this the second effect here, except instead of sending a dragon type monster from deck to grave, it equips a dragon type tuner monster to the monster that the spell card is equipped to. So, but yeah, I think Dragon Ravine could come back to 1, maybe 2. I don't think to 3, because then Dragon Rulers would really pop up again, and I don't want to see that happen. 2 would probably be pushing the envelope, so I think it could probably come back to 1, and things might be okay, might be dealable. So yeah, that card might come back to 1. Now, popular staples right here: Torrential Tribute and Compulse. These cards, I think, they could both come back to 2, because they really don't do it. I mean, Compulse is good. Is good for this meta because it sends it back to the hand. Torrential Tribute, I know a lot of people have dropped because, like, Burning Abyss, they get their effects off. Shadal's get their effect off. Cliffords, they just laugh in your face, because then they bring everything back next turn and totally rape you. So, and then Compulse only compulses one monster, which, granted, used at the right time, could be a lifesaver. But, again, yeah. So, I mean, I think they could both come back to 2. I think Torrential probably has the better chance of coming back to 2 compared to Compulse. But I think Compulse might have a chance to come back to 2 again also. So, yeah. And Dark Strike Fighter. Now, it did get its errata. It can only be used during main phase 1, and you can only use the effect of Dark Strike Fighter once per turn, which means you can't have, 2 or 3 Dark Strike Fighters and use each of their effects. No, you can only use 1. So, this card will probably come right back to 3. I know that's what they did in the OCG when it got a red reprint over there. It went from banned to straight back to 3 in 1 ban list. So I feel that's probably is what is going to happen in for us too, is that Dark Strike Fighter is going to come straight back to 3. I doubt it's going to go to 1. Maybe they'll put it at 2. But I highly feel like this thing is going to come right back to 3. Now, Thousand Eyes Restrict. All the things that basically made this card badass, they're all back to 3, except for 1. 2 if you want to count himself. And that's, the other card is Metamorphosis. Now, Thousand Eyes Restrict, all he basically is, honestly, is a fusion version of number 101. So I mean, he's kind of a double-edged sword too because he's the only monster that you can attack with. So, and plus, if you suck up a face down monster, he doesn't copy the attack and defense. So, I mean, I feel Thousand Eyes Return could, without a doubt, come back to one, maybe even to two. But so long as Metamorphosis stays banned, I think this card could undoubtedly, man, I suck at saying that word. I have no doubt in my mind, there we go, that this card could come back to at least one. Not to three, not straight back to three, no. But definitely to one, maybe to two, but that would probably be really pushing things. So I think this card has the potential to come back to one. Now, last but not least, everyone's favorite Dragon Synchro Monster. At least, well, he's my favorite Dragon Synchro Monster, Trishula. Now, in the OCG, Trishula did come back to one. I think it was like 2 ban lists ago, maybe 3. But I know they have Trishula at 1. Well, technically they have Trishula at 4 because of Nekloths, or Necros, as they're going to be called over here in the TCG. So, I know we're going to be getting them. I think it's like January, February-ish. I think it's more February-ish that we're going to get them. So, I don't know, because we're getting a ritual version of Trishula, which is basically kind of a more badass version of Trishula. Granted, however, it is kind of more restrained because in order to do the banishing, your opponent has to have at least one card in hand, graveyard, and field. Has to have at least one card in each of those 3 locations in order to use Trishula's effect. Whereas this one here, that's not necessary because it says, I don't know, it doesn't say it here, but I think the thing with him, with the single one, is that I know it doesn't say here, but I think it's ruled as up to, so it doesn't matter if like they only have a card on field, cards on field and in hand, and nothing engraved. You could still use Trishula's effect. I think that's how the ruling goes on him. So, oh no, I would love to see Trishula come back because I have a copy of him. So I don't know. I honestly think he's gonna stay banned because of his ritual version that we're gonna be getting, but I hope he comes back to one. I think maybe he might come back to one. I mean, he's still at 1 over in the OCG, and they have, of course, he isn't ran in Necros, granted. That would be weird, but that would be, at the same time, really cool to see that, actually. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he could come back to one because we're getting a ritual version. But at the same time, I think he's still a little bit, I think people would say that he's still a little bit too strong to come back. So, but I don't know. I think he could come back to one. So, yeah. And now for my 4 wild card choices, because Konami has been doing a lot of weird stuff. Glow Up Ball back to 1, Goyo Guardian back to 1, Raigeki back to 1. What the hell, Konami? So, these are going to be my 4 wild card choices. Now, Cyberstein is at 1, I believe, over in the OCG. They put him to 1 to help sell the Cyber Dragon structure deck. So, Cyberstein, really awesome. I know he used to be, like, when he first came out, I think it was like a $20,000 card. It was ridiculous. It was because his first print was as a YCS promo, it was whatever YCS was called before it was YCS. He was I think like the first promo of it, and so yeah, ultra rare versions were going for like $20,000, and yeah, basically he's used in a Cyber Twin Dragon or Cyber End Dragon if you have limiter removal or limiter removal. OTK, you just summon him, pay the 5,000 to summon out either Cyber Twin Dragon or Cyber End Dragon, and then you activate limiter removal, and then you attack for game. Uh, Granted, your opponent doesn't have any monsters or back row, so, but that was basically the gist of it. So he's at one over in the OCG, and I don't really think it did anything over there. So I mean, I think he could probably come back to one. Um, Next up is Sinister Serpent. Yes, the lovable, cuddly snake that never wants to leave your hand. I think this card, this would be something I think Mermails would love because it's free discard. It's water. So, seeing this card come back to one might tempt me to rebuild Mermails. Most likely not, because on my budget, they're probably still too expensive for me, for my budget. So, but I don't know. This card might come back to one. You know, I mean, we got Glow Up Bulb. This is basically a water version of Glow Up Bulb in a way. It's a floater, as people have. I guess that's what Glow Up Bulb is, a floater. I don't know. I don't see it. Sinister Serpent I can see as a floater because he never leaves the freaking hand. But yeah, so it would be cool to see Sinister Serpent come back to one. I know that would really. I know that would be. I know Burning Abyss would probably run the one copy of him because it's free discard for all your discarding traps if they don't get hit, which I hope they do. And then Mermails, free discard. It's a water. So Sinister Serpent back to one would be something cool to see. Now, next up is Giant Trunade. Now, the reason why I have this card and not Heavy Storm is pendulums. Support pendulums. This doesn't destroy them, it sends them back to hand. Now, obviously, I have this other card over here, Premature Burial, which obviously, that's basically a double Monster Reborn if you bring both of these cards back, which I don't think that's going to happen. I think, I don't know, we may just have one wild card this time, like with Goyo Guardian, or we might have two wild cards like last Banlist, which was Regeki and Glow Up Bulb. If we do have two wild cards, it's not going to be these two cards together. No. It's either one or the other with these cards. Because if this leaves the field, the monster that it brought back is not destroyed, it stays. So, but Giant Trunade, it doesn't destroy the pendulums, it just sends them back to hand. So, I feel this card could probably come back to one. I mean, I know Mermails could bounce back their Abyss Sphere and Fire Fist, which no one runs anymore, or at least I don't see anyone running it. Even though Wolf Bark is back at 3, you guys can completely just reestablish your back row because you fill that up like in one turn with continuous spell and trap cards. So I don't know. I maybe Giant Trunade can come back to one. I mean, it doesn't hurt pendulums, like I keep saying over and over and over again. So yeah, and then Premature Burial over here is the last one. It's basically Monster Reborn, except you pay 800 life points, and unlike Call of the Haunted, if this card leaves the field, the monster stays. So, it's stronger than it's basically Call of the Haunted with, like, I don't know. it's a more balanced version of Monster Reborn, yet stronger than Call of the Haunted, if you want to think about it that way, or whatnot. So, yes, 800 life points. Of course, another thing, you can only summon from your graveyard, and it's in face-up attack position, just like Call of the Haunted. So, yeah, that is it. That is my ban list discussion for the January 2015 ban list. So, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think. If there's anything else, if there's anything that maybe you think should get hit instead, or whatnot. I don't know. I don't care. But so yeah, that's it. I will see you guys later. I don't know when that is, so I know I'm very slow with my videos. I'm moving, okay? Slow process. But anyways, I'm gonna shut up now. So, see you guys later. Fox out.